Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Commexis Cast Daily for Tuesday, November 14th, 2017. All the news you need to know from our inbox to yours. I'm Matthew McGrorty, the videographer and podcaster here at Commexis, and today I am joined by Phillip Brooks, the lead strategist at Commexis.
Good afternoon.
And Len Ward, the president of Commexis.
Good afternoon.
So our first story today, Adobe has some new numbers and interesting numbers about this holiday season.
Yeah, so there's a lot to parse here, but I think the biggest number is what's really in the actual subject line, which is that email could generate up to $20 billion this holiday season. So they're really seeing a direct correlation between email marketing and the retail connection for Cyber Monday deals, and actually in retail purchases as well. But they're estimating that $7.50 of every $10 spent by consumers online goes through the Adobe Experience Cloud, meaning that it's in some way going through an email process. So that's a really impressive link.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at just how people are spending money online, and a couple of the other predictions they have out there is that they believe that this Cyber Monday will be the largest shopping day in history, with $6.6 billion in sales. I mean, wow. and if you're Amazon and you're Walmart and you're those companies, I mean, Amazon's got to get the lion's share of that, right? I mean, they're the number one company in the marketplace right now for retail. I can't imagine a whole lot of people deviating from that. They've already created that habit by using Prime all year long. So
Walmart will make a charge this year, though. I think this will be the first year. They're not threatening them, but this will be the first year I think Walmart is going to make a little bit of a move, and I think it'll be more than a blip on the screen. I really do.
And the one last thing I just want to point out is this is the first year that they believe that smartphones and tablets are actually going to be higher usage for Cyber Monday shopping than desktops. So it's kind of mirroring what we've seen from web traffic in general and people's engagement with brands and things like that. They're actually using mobile much more than desktop, but they still think that that 54% of people will now be on actual handheld devices, which is huge. I still think, that's shocking to me because I feel like most people are still browsing on their computer when they're on Cyber Monday. But
yeah, I mean, I'm surprised, but I also think, I mean, as somebody who uses Amazon Prime, sometimes it is more convenient just to use my phone than it is to. I mean, if I'm doing
there with the app, it's great.
So, but yeah, that's an impressive number.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I'll just say about that, that's something from a marketing perspective. If you're not doing email marketing, I don't care if you're B2B, B2C, I don't care what you're selling or who you're talking to, you're making a grave mistake, because to this day, it still converts sometimes better than anything out there. And it's just absolutely a platform you have to have marketing dollars on right now.
Yeah, and I think we've seen with like some of these events like Prime Day and things like that, if you don't get those prices out there in front of somebody, and the best way to do that is email, you're not going to be able to draw in the buzz that you think you're going to need to get you over that hump for the big days like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. People need to know what's for sale before that day because they're figuring out their budgets and stuff.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, on to another little piece of mobile, speaking of which. Snapchat is adding context cards to its filters and lenses. For those of you who don't know what context cards are, about a month ago, Snapchat updated their app to allow users to look at information if a friend sent them a snap with a certain geotag from a business. So say I'm at a restaurant and that restaurant has a geotag, I send it to my friend, they want to go. They can swipe up on their phone and they can get information about that business. In this case, they're going to be adding it to lenses and filters, which are able to be sponsored. So for example, Lionsgate is the first brand that is going to be running a context card through a lens, and they'll be running it for their upcoming film Wonder, celebrating World Kindness Day. And they'll be able to swipe up while you're using that lens, or if a friend has sent you a picture using that lens, and you'll be able to see screen times and purchase a ticket all through the link. And this is the first time that Snapchat will allow you to track your ROI through a link, because context cards previously just gave information, and in this case they're going to be letting you click a link and purchase some tickets and see some screen time. So I think this is one additional step forward for advertisers on Snapchat, especially after their not so great third quarter's earnings report.
Did they mention if they're partnering with any third-party provider? Like, is this Fandango, or does it go directly to the the cinema itself? Like, I'm just curious.
That I'm not sure about.
How that process works.
I imagine. I mean, in this case, I'm assuming Lionsgate. I don't know what the specifics of what Lionsgate is doing because it's whatever Lionsgate chooses to do.
Company,
yeah. So I'm not sure exactly who they're partnering with in terms of who's going to be getting that link. All I know is that Snapchat is the Lionsgate is the first one to do this on Snapchat. I have a feeling Snapchat is not.
I was just curious if they had mentioned it because if you're like me, you go to movies a lot. You use your rewards and things
That's
like
true.
that. So you know how you're able to take advantage of that if you're flipping through right through Snap.
Yeah.
And then finally, Facebook has come out with Facebook Local. They are relaunching their events app, which I did not know existed, and calling it Facebook Local. And the plan is to tackle the market for Yelps and the Foursquares of the world. And as you can expect, there's going to be Facebook integration. That's how you sign into the app. So from this report from Tim Peterson on Marketing Land, people can search for locations and events by name or category. They can browse through Facebook's listings. They can organize events and locations into categories such as food, drinks, game, fitness, film, music, religion, etc., etc. They can sort these results by relevance. They can pick out places that their Facebook friends have liked and see when they're open. They can see hours, addresses, ratings on Facebook, popular keywords that people use, and all the like. The one thing that a Facebook spokesperson did not immediately respond to was whether or not Facebook Local will feature ads. So I don't know. I mean, my reaction to this is perplexed because I don't personally use Yelp or Foursquare, so I think it's odd that Facebook would be going into it. But I mean, clearly they already have sort of the Facebook infrastructure for something like this. So I don't know.
I mean, I think maybe 5-6 years ago there was a big buzzword in advertising for gamification, where they were trying to make things into these game-like situations where people could progress and add things to their profiles and things like that. I feel like that time has passed. I don't see the value in this in a lot of ways, but and the fact that they're saying we don't know if we're going to advertise. I'm going to take a stab in the dark. They're going to put ads on it. Trust me.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most stunning thing about this story is, did anybody know Foursquare was still in business anymore? I thought they were gone a couple years ago.
I imagine, but we talked about this last week a little bit with, Snap's the only one that really does geofencing well.
Yeah.
If maybe this is their first foray into something that can start doing that kind of information, that kind of stuff. Because I feel like that if they're going to be able to do that, this is a step in that direction. Because I feel like the infrastructure for those tools is already there for those apps. So
that's true, but what this makes me think of is there's a study that keeps getting brought up in many articles about mobile apps that about people only have about 30 apps on their phone and they only use like 7 or 8 per week with regular activity, right? So I wonder if this is, I could see this being something that is already in the Facebook app, but I wonder how successful it will be being its own separate thing. I mean, I didn't even know the Facebook Events app had an app, because you can just do everything through the Facebook app as it is.
They're partnering with Yelp on this?
No, they're not.
Oh,
It's just like a Yelp Foursquare app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
So I don't know. That's my declarative statement on that one. I am not sure how it will do, but we'll certainly see, I suppose.
I mean, we have Swarm on Twitter, so we know that's kind of a thing. I just wonder, is it needed anymore?
I don't know. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to today's episode of the Commexis Cast Daily. Check us out tomorrow for more of the latest trending news. Have a great day.